Welcome to today's deep dive. We know you want to learn something genuinely fascinating without sitting through a massive info overload, so we are jumping right in.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Today, we're looking at a spec sheet from HDTV Supply. They're this huge, like 25-year-old AV vendor, and we are looking at a highly specific device called the BrightSign LS445.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's important.
Right, because our mission today is to decode the invisible, highly specialized tech that powers the digital screens you see everywhere in the real world.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look up at a glowing fast food menu board or maybe a digital mall map, you probably think someone just bolted a standard smart TV to the wall.
Which, if you actually plugged a normal TV in there, it would probably crash by lunchtime.
Oh, absolutely. The Bright Sign is this tiny $473 box that mounts right behind the glass to prevent exactly that.
Okay, wait, let's unpack this. $473 for a box that basically just plays video. Because, I could buy a 4K Apple TV or just a cheap everyday tablet for way less than that. Why would a business spend almost $500 on this?
It comes down to purpose-built reliability. It's really the difference between a Swiss Army knife and a scalpel.
Okay, how's
So,
so?
so a standard laptop or tablet can do 1,000 things okay, but it gets distracted, right?
Yeah,
It wants to run background apps or go to sleep to save battery, or worst of all, force a system update right in the middle of a busy lunch rush.
Oh, right, the classic sudden restart.
Exactly.
Ugh.
This BrightSign unit is the scalpel. It runs its own proprietary software called BrightSign OS.
So it's not running Windows or Android?
No, it's engineered strictly to strip out all those consumer distractions.
Yeah.
It boosts security and maximizes uptime. It does one thing, but it never misses.
That makes sense. And looking at the specs here, that one thing includes playing flawless 4K video at 60 frames per second.
Yep.
And it handles H.265 video codecs, which is basically just a fancy way of saying it compresses massive cinema quality video files so they play smoothly all day without the processor melting down.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Plus, it comes with a 32GB microSD card pre-installed, and it supports HTML5 widgets.
Wait, what does the HTML5 part actually mean for the screen?
It means it doesn't just loop a static commercial. It can pull in live web data like updating flight times at an airport or shifting menu prices in real time.
Without lagging out a web browser.
Right. It integrates that data completely smoothly.
Okay, so the software is basically built to never fail. But what about the physical hardware?
That is just as important.
Because these things live in, busy restaurant kitchens and dusty retail stockrooms. A software firewall doesn't really help if an employee accidentally trips over the power cord.
Yeah, that's where the unsexy but crucial physical design comes in. First off, it's ultra thin, so it can slide into those impossibly tight spaces behind monitors.
Nice.
But more importantly, it has a locking power connector.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, you physically cannot just bump it and accidentally unplug the device.
That is so smart. But what if the whole building loses power? The specs mention something about a real-time clock with a 14-day life.
Right, so think about that digital mall map again. If the power grid blips and the network goes down, you don't want the map booting up totally confused about what day it is.
Right, just sitting there waiting to ping a central server before it works.
Exactly. That internal clock survives power anomalies for up to 2 weeks.
Wow. 2 weeks?
Yeah, so the device wakes up, knows exactly what its schedule is, and gets right back to work, even completely offline if necessary.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting to me. Speaking of those interactive mall maps, how does it handle a customer actually touching the screen? Because the box itself is just a little metal brick.
It handles it through a standard USB-C port. It easily supports single touchscreen experiences.
So it's just plug and play for touch.
Very adaptable.
Wow.
And for networking, while it obviously has a standard Ethernet port, installers can add optional dual antenna Wi-Fi modules.
Oh, so if they need total flexibility in an older brick building where running cables just isn't an option, they're covered.
Precisely.
So the core takeaway here is that standard tech is just too smart and too multifunctional for the commercial world. The BrightSign LS445 is basically this unsung, ultra-reliable workhorse, keeping the visual data of the modern world running smoothly.
It completely takes the chaos of standard computing out of the equation.
Which means the next time you are standing in line, looking at a crisp 4K menu board or an interactive display at a store, you'll know exactly what kind of specialized tech is hiding just behind the glass.
It really changes how you view a simple store display, doesn't it?
It really does. Which leaves you with this to ponder, as these ultra-reliable devices become more advanced, how much of our physical daily environment is now secretly orchestrated orchestrated by these invisible, highly secure digital brains.
It's everywhere.
It is. And what does that constant silent orchestration mean for the future of our offline spaces? Something to think about.